Hello, good afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and go over in this tutorial for English 208A how to complete your step 2 of your portfolio in Unit 1. So this is also called your revised final draft or your revised spotlight piece, and you should wait to do this step until you've completed part 1, the revision form. I'll show you where to get to both of those things if you're wondering how to get started, but let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to go ahead and start by going to our Classes tab, just like always, and clicking into English 208. I'm just going to change the view real quick. This is what you'll see. So what we want to do is go to the top to Tools, and then Assignments, like always. And we've got a couple of things that we've done so far in Unit 1. To go on with this step, you need to have completed at least one of the narrative writing exercises. So if you haven't yet, and you don't see any completed scores next to them, I would start there. But let's say you've got at least one. You're going to pick that one, or whichever of the three you like the best or would like to change. And from there we went ahead and we did the Unit 1 portfolio step 1. And that was the self-revision form. Okay, if you finished this form and you're ready to move forward, I'm going to show you how to set up step 2 today. So we're going to go ahead and click into the Unit 1 portfolio step 2. Alright, so when I open it, you'll see Step 2 will have us download and complete the Unit 1 Portfolio Spotlight Piece Assignment Sheet. So I'm going to click on that and get the attachment. You can also go here to Attachments. And I'm just going to click it to open it up. When you open it, you might notice that you have a yellow bar across the top and a button that says Enable Editing. Make sure to click that first. That's going to let you write on the document. After that, I recommend going ahead and going to File and Save As. I would click Browse, and let's find a place to save this where we'll be able to find it later. My favorite place is either a Documents folder or the desktop. I'm just going to put it on the desktop, and just so I know, I'm going to put my last name and first initial on the end. From there, I'll hit Save. And now I'm ready to start adding stuff. So as you can see, it's asking us to put our narrative exercise that we chose, the first draft we turned in there, and then the final draft below it. But let's say I know which one I want to do. Maybe I want to do my writing exercise B, but I don't know how to get back to my first draft. Fortunately, there's an easy way to do that, even if you don't have the file on your computer anymore. I'm going to go back to Tools and Assignments, and I'm just going to go to Writing Exercise B, but before clicking that, I'm going to go to the right. So I go right there. You see where it says One Submission, One File? Let's click on that. And there's my file. I can actually click it and download what I've already turned in, which is great because that means nothing is ever lost. So I'm just going to click it, and I'm going to open up that writing exercise B, and here's mine. So you can see I did the lost pet, I had the hamster named Chonky, and here I kind of have my rough draft. The rough draft is just what I originally turned in. I'm going to highlight it by clicking and dragging over the whole thing. I'm going to right click and hit copy. Now, I just need to go put this in my spotlight piece sheet. So I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to go ahead, delete all this under first draft, and paste my draft. There we go. Now I have my first draft in place. When I go to grade this as your teacher, I'm going to be comparing your first draft to what you finished with and revised. This is why you did the revision form, so that you knew what you wanted to change in your writing. So I'm just going to read off and look at kind of my first draft and rewrite it. I don't have to completely change it, but I need it to look different. So hopefully I have found things to add, things to remove, things to move, or words and phrases to substitute in my writing to make it better. If you're stuck on the spot and you're not sure how to improve your draft, this would be a good time to email me at mcondelieri@insightmi.org asking me for some more support with this. Okay, I can check out your draft. I can give you a few places to start. But let's say I know what I want to do, right? I have some changes that I made notes for. Let's see what it might look like when I'm done. All right, so there's my first draft. Again, I didn't change it. I left it completely alone, but I made some big changes to my final draft. So as you can see, I still have the first line the same, but I'm going to show a lot more. So I've added some dialogue. We have Chalky and his owner talking more. We have some action. If you want to take a minute to just pause the video and look at some of the changes I made, this is the sort of thing I'm looking for when you rewrite your first draft. Alright, gotten your fill? So, by the time I'm done, my final draft looks very different. I also went ahead and just double checked that the grammar looked good before I'm ready to turn in. Now, I'm ready to turn in, so I'm going to go ahead and go to File and hit Save. Now I'm going to go ahead back to the Dropbox, so Tools, Assignments, and I'm going to scroll on down until I see the Revised Spotlight Piece Dropbox. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to scroll, and in here we can kind of see the rubric. So I'm going to grade you based on if I have a first draft. Okay, so this is just for pasting your rough draft. I've got one for if you included a final draft and it looks different. I'm going to grade for what type of revisions you did, right? Did you actually show me that you understood some of the concepts from Unit 1 and how you revised? And conventions. So in other words, in your revised final draft, did you check for grammar? Did you make sure there weren't any major capitalization errors? Did you make sure you used complete sentences? Just the basics. I'm not going to be super picky on it, but I also want to make sure that you've neatened up your draft. So finally, time to turn it in. I'm going to go ahead and hit Add a File, go to My Computer, hit Upload, and I'm going to go to the desktop where I saved it. From there, I'm just going to find where I had it. There it is. I know it's right because there's my last name on the end. I'm going to hit Open and hit Add. I'll know I did it right if it shows up in blue. If you have a comment, you can add it here. Otherwise, we generally don't use this. If for whatever reason you're having trouble with the file, though, you can put your rough draft and final draft in this box. Finally, I'm going to hit Submit. If you've done it right, it'll say File Submission Successful, and it will send you a confirmation email, and you are done with this part. On to the last piece. There's only one more step. You just need to complete the reflection question quiz. You can get to that by going to the class home this week, the week of 10/26, and scrolling down past Reminder Cat. The reflection's right there for you. You can also always find this under your weekly class materials in the Content tab. And that's all I've got for you. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out and have an awesome rest of your day.